All right, y'all, come on in. Today we're going to be looking at this Boudoir Facebook ad, seeing what we can learn from it that's given us good results, seeing what we can learn from it that's given us bad results. And as always, going to be following the same 10 mistake framework, I've already used with other Boudoir Facebook ads, to fix them up on my own and average, 2 to 4x the amount of women actually coming through, engaging with the ad, becoming pre-qualified, reading our ad copy, reading our offer, and these women come through actually more specific. Normally a higher conversion rate with them. Um, and the real metric we focus on here is unique CTR all. This is how many women out of 100 are engaging with our ad, aka how many women out of 100 is our ad relevant to. It's basically our relevance score. Um, and we know oh, relevance leads to consideration, leads to purchase. So we got to be relevant. And the hidden, so unique CTR is kind of, this hidden relevance specificity metric, but it's also the most important one where we like to stay above 6% unique CTR. Anything below 6% unique CTR, most likely ad will be burning out, performing worse and worse over time. But if we can get above 6%, higher chance our ads will actually give us, we spend the same ad spend, we actually get better results over time. So ad sustaining and scaling. So I'm going to be talking about that more today. And then, this is all the 10 mistakes leading to this unique CTR all stuff. And with boudoir photographers that, have been running their own Facebook ads, it's common for them to see, they run an ad, gets good results at first, but then kind of dies off, trails off, and they're feeling desperate. They got to keep like refreshing stuff, refresh creative, keep putting new ads out there. But this is not normal. This is actually a symptom of a deeper root cause problem. And again, which is going to be the 10 mistakes we talk about today. And similarly, when boudoir photographers are paying an agency to do their ads, a ton of money every month to the agency, paying money every month for ad spend, and then still getting worse and worse results every month. These boudoir photographers say, man, why the heck I'm still paying this person, I'm paying them a ton of money. They give me worse and worse results kind of month after month, or, as time goes on with my ads. And they probably already gave me their best ads anyway that are already running in my Facebook ads account. So I could just drop them and just keep running these ads where they don't do anything. They just let the ads run. And literally they're just kind of refreshing old ads with same mistakes, just put a new picture. I mean, so why? And they're thinking, dang, why do I even need to pay this agency? So those are two situations. And the problem is, refreshing creative, trying refreshing stuff, it's really just leading to the same, it's not solving the root cause issues. And the root cause issues are the 10 mistakes I'm going to talk about today. But here's why the 10 mistakes matter, and they cause same ad spend, worse results over time, ads burning out, ads dying out, refresh creative. So when our ads first go to the first tranche of women, Meta is looking at the initial metrics, unique CTR all, things like that, seeing if they're good. And it's looking at initial conversion rate, looking at that, seeing if it's good. It takes that data from tranche 1 women and actually feeds it back into the meta ad algorithm to decide which tranche 2 women to go to. Now, what normally happens when, these mistakes we're going to talk about today are made is you see all the initial metrics, the initial conversion rates are low. As a result, meta ad algorithm says, okay, low quality ad, not relevant, not giving a good user experience on our platform. Therefore, we're actually going to send the ads in tranche 2 to lower quality meta profiles. Lower quality meta profiles. These meta profiles off rip are going to have a lower conversion rate. So tranche 2, same ad spend, lower results compared to tranche 1. And then what does that do? Feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. Meta still sees worse results, or lower results which obviously, because our ads went to lower quality meta profiles, and then our ads go to even worse meta profiles for tranche 3. So, and cycle continues. This is called the downward spiral of despair. And it happens because of the initial unique CTR all and conversion rate data and other metrics from tranche 1 women. And kind of the ad just gets stuck there and goes down until it burns out, dies out, or the business owner, boudoir photographer, decides to stop spending money on it and refresh something. Because kind of like its hidden meta ad score is kind of stuck down in the doldrums and there's no improving it. Conversely, if we fix these mistakes we're going to talk about today, kind of on our top 10 list, most common boudoir Facebook ad mistakes, if we fix these mistakes, then guess what? We get good unique CTR all, good initial metrics, good initial conversion rates, conversion data. That feeds back, all that from tranche 1 women that our ads goes to. That goes back into the meta ad algorithm. And from our good initial data and results, we actually unlock premium meta profiles for tranche 2, basically premium placements. These meta profiles are worth more, higher conversion rate, spend more. Meta protects them and hides lower quality ads from them. So when we launch an ad, it's kind of in the purgatory process, really, kind of in the learning phase. And guess what? When our ads go to these premium placements at tranche 2, we do the same ad spend as in tranche 1, but we get better results, which feeds back into the meta ad algorithm again, and we go to even better meta profiles, unlock better meta profiles for tranche 3. And cycle continues on and on. This is called the upward spiral of awesomeness. Ads, sustains, and scales. Scale the business, same ad spend, more and more results over time. So those are the only two paths boudoir Facebook ads can take. Either the downward spiral of despair, which is basically all boudoir Facebook ads, honestly, that I've seen. I've reviewed over 40 of them. Or the upward spiral of awesomeness, which is where we want to get to. But haven't seen anyone get into it yet, kind of like the jet stream, because people are not even understanding these root causes, what causes them, and what's actually happening behind the scenes with the meta ad algorithm. All right, so now onto the top 10 mistakes and what we can learn today. First one, as we all know, does it look like an ad? So, does our creative, does our picture look like an ad? No, looks like an organic post. I'm just really looking to see, is there text on it? Yeah, I could see when someone posting this organically on our feed, so this is good. This means it'll look more like an organic post, which means a higher probability women will consume it. We need women to consume what we wrote. And this is good. So organic posts, we have more women coming through reading our see more headline up here at top, 2 3/4 lines. We'll talk about that in a little bit. More reading our ad copy. More women getting pre-qualified. More pre-qualified leads. More pre-qualified appointments. Fewer tire kickers, fewer price hunters, fewer price objections. More sales, more conversions, more bookings, higher ROAS. All feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, and we unlock premium placements for tranche 2. Our tranche 2 goes to better meta profiles based off of our initial data metrics and results for our ad going out to the tranche 1 women. Ad, same, for tranche 2, same ad spend, better results. Ad sustains and scales, kind of keeps repeating. We've entered the upward spiral of awesomeness. And we just get the same ad spend, better results over time. Ad sustains and scales, scale the business. All right, the next 4 mistakes, so mistakes 2 through 5 can happen up here in the see more headline. This is the first 2 3/4 lines on mobiles I've got highlighted right here. Mobile Facebook newsfeed. And this is the most important real estate. This is where 95% of ad spend is won or lost. Here's why. 100 out of 100 women scrolling on Facebook newsfeed will see this, but only with a really good Boudoir Facebook ad we'll get 5% of women to click ... see more, which will be, here and hiding the rest of the ad copy. So 5% of women will click that to see and open up the rest of the ad copy, which means the maximum, only 5% of women will actually see the rest of what the heck we got. So we can literally get 20x more people exposed to what we got up here. So this is where 95% of ad spend is won or lost. Now that's a really good Boudoir Facebook ad. I can get 6 to 9%, 6 to 10% unique CTR all clicking to see more. So up to 9 to 10 out of 100 women clicking to see more, consuming the ad copy. But the average Boudoir Facebook ad, if we all go look at our backend Meta Ads Manager, is 2 to 3% unique CTR all. So really only 2 to 3 out of 100 peeps or women are clicking the ... see more to read the rest of the ad copy. So basically 95% of ad spend is won or lost up here in the see more headline. And that's because most of our ad impressions will actually be on Facebook mobile newsfeed. To see that, we go to our ads manager, we go on the top right above the titles of the columns, click on breakdown, and then we choose placements. And then the bottom left of our Facebook columns, our ad columns, bottom left, we click the summary arrow to bring up the bottom row. And if we sort by most impressions, it's going to be Facebook mobile newsfeed. So this is where algorithm sends most of the ads and where most of our ad spend will be. And this is where we got to capture the attention and be specific to call in the right women and for the women to feel like we're speaking directly to them. All right, so 4 specific attributes we need in the see more headline. First one is a who. Who are we speaking to? Was a self-label where if they're scrolling, they scroll by, but they see it and they cause them to come back up. And so let's see. Ladies, this is your moment, your beauty, your confidence, your power. Are you ready to see yourself in a whole new light? Giving you a chance to win. Okay. All right, so do we have a who here? Yeah, ladies. I do like to have 2 words, at least two word label to provide more context, but all right. We'll give this one a thumbs up. We got ladies, so anyone's a lady, they will be coming up to read this. Well, hopefully. We'll get some of them. So we're gonna have more women reading our see more headline, clicking the ... see more, consuming our ad copy, becoming pre-qualified, which leads to more qualified leads, more qualified appointments, fewer price hunters, fewer price objections, fewer tire kickers, less ghosting, because we get more qualified sales calls, more bookings, more sales, more revenue, higher ROAS, more conversions, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, resulting in us unlocking premium placements, premium meta profiles with a higher initial conversion rate for the tranche 2 women that our ads go to, which results in same ad spend between tranche 1 and tranche 2, but better results in tranche 2, more sales. What feeds back into the meta algorithm again, same ad spend, even better results in tranche 3. Ad sustains and scales, scale the business. All right. Second thing we need to have in the see more headline is a negative experience. What are women in our city going through, that they're saying in their brains that they don't want to deal with anymore? They want to get away from. They want to get away from this negative experience. And this is actually the most important specific attribute. And we always lead with it. And here's why. Humans are biologically programmed to move away from a negative experience, aka pain, take an action to move away from the painful situation to just get back to a normal / no pain / homeostasis situation at literally 100x the rate or 100x higher probability than the same human will take an action to go from a normal / no pain / homeostasis state and take an action to get some gain, some positive, some pleasure. Night and day difference, literally 100x difference. And we know this by, just thinking about us. We go to the dentist, get our 6-month teeth cleaning and checkup, and sometimes tooth cleaning for some people, and come out, we're paying at the front desk, talking to the secretary ladies. They're like, hey, are you free 181 days from now on Tuesday at 6:45 a.m.? And we're like, well, dude, I literally ain't got no clue, no idea at all. So text me closer to then. So when I know my schedule, I know like if I can fit the dentist in. So they put us in their auto texter. It auto texts us month 3. We ignore it. Month 3 to set up our next 6-month checkup, and 3 months from then. And text us month 4 and month 5. We ignore both those. And month 6 comes and goes, and we do nothing. We didn't go to the dentist. We didn't get our 6-month checkup. And why is it? Well, we're busy, focused on the business, growing the business. Really in the flow state. We like our schedule, like how it is. Stuff's flowing nicely. We don't want to be backed up. We don't want to close off time a client could book or want to book with us. And kind of the gain that we would get, the guaranteed gain of cleaner teeth and basically peace of mind knowing all cavities are taken care of or we have no cavities, kind of those 2 guaranteed gains, honestly, it's not enough for us to take action to put the dentist on the calendar and actually go see the dentist. So we're not taking any action to go from a no pain state or a normal state to a gain benefit state. We don't take any action. So this continues month 8, get texted again, we ignore it. Month 10, we're texted again, we ignore it. Month 12, auto texted again, we ignore it again. So what happens now is we've done 12 months, we have totally skipped our 2 6-month checkups and teeth cleanings. And same reason, the positive, guaranteed cleaner teeth and guaranteed peace of mind knowing no cavities remain in our mouth. It's not enough for us to take action, break our habits, change our schedule. So we don't take any action. We stay in our normal no pain state. Hey, life's good as it is. I'm working on the business. Don't feel like I need to take an action right now. Next comes the end of month 13. So the end of month 13, we actually feel some pain. We're eating breakfast, and then the right side of our mouth, in the back, on the bottom, those molars back there, one of them, man, every bite of breakfast is just pain back there. All right, what is going on? Never felt this before. Our jaw has some pain on it too on the right side. And so, we go the rest of the morning, but even though we're not chewing anything, our tooth still hurts, our jaw still hurts a little bit, even though we're not chewing anything. So we get to lunch. We got a new strategy for lunch, which is we're going to choose the food on the left side of our mouth. So we do that, but still pain on the right side because our teeth touch a little bit, and our jaw still hurts, and then some food does go over there because of muscle memory. And it's more pain. We're like, man, this is awful. Can't even finish our lunch. We only ate half of it. We're like, all right, I got to get this solved. I can't focus. I can't eat. Probably won't be able to eat tonight. Probably won't be able to sleep because of this tooth pain. So we go to the dentist. Well, we actually call up our dentist, see if we can go in. Call up our dentist, and we're talking to them, and we're like, what? What do you mean you can't get me in at 7:15 a.m. tomorrow? I'm dying here. This tooth is killing me. And they're like, well, hey, we're booked 3 weeks out. So we have no slots, but we can put you on the cancellation list. So if someone cancels, and you're up next, then we can get you in, but no guarantees. We're like, 3 weeks, dude, no way. I'm not going to wait that long. I'm literally not going to wait 3 weeks to do all this stuff, or to get this solved. I got to get this solved ASAP. So we hang up on our normal dentist, and guess what? We literally call every other single dentist in the city, calling them up like, can't get me in tomorrow morning, can't get me in tomorrow morning, can't get me in tomorrow morning. And finally someone says yes. Finally someone says, yes, we can get you in tomorrow morning, 7:15 a.m. Come on in. So next morning we go in, barely slept at all. But dude, we just gotta get this thing solved. Can't even think about anything else. Just so annoying. Didn't eat dinner. Can't focus. Can't sleep. So we go in. They check us out. Oh man, super cavity. So they go in. They clean it out. Put the fill it in with the liquid resin stuff. Put the UV pen on it, and to harden it, they do the bite paper to see if the tooth is too high or too low anywhere, and clean the rest of our teeth. Kind of our normal checkup teeth cleaning, and we leave the dentist. Kind of biting the air, testing it out. No pain in the jaw, no pain in the tooth. We go home, we eat breakfast, no pain at all. And we're like, oh my God, yes. Dude, thank God. Done with that pain, back to normal. Yeah, dude. Living life. And so there were two scenarios there. Literally 13 months, we had guaranteed gains of slightly cleaner teeth and, we had no cavities in our mouth. And for 12 months, we did nothing, no action. Or 13 months, nothing, no action. That's 400 days. No action, get guaranteed positive, guaranteed gain, guaranteed pleasure. But dude, one day with pain, literally one day with pain, we take massive action. We're putting some dentist on the calendar, any dentist in the city, get me in tomorrow morning, ASAP. I got to get this thing solved. So our difference in probability of, moving from a negative experience, aka state of pain, to neutral / normal / no pain state is literally 400x higher than us moving from a neutral / normal / no pain state to a state of gain, benefit, pleasure, positive. Literally 400x difference. So we can see in this example, this is why we lead with a negative. A negative, it just gets people to move so much more. I originally said 100x. Okay, in this example, literally 400x more. The humans will move away from pain than they will to go get some gain. So this is why we lead with a negative. So let's say if we got a negative here, ladies, it's your moment, your beauty, your confidence, your power. Are you ready to see yourself in a whole new light? Can you change them? Nah, dude, we're missing a negative. What do women in our city want to move away from? It's like they're on one riverbank. They want to move from a negative experience on one riverbank, and get to the riverbank on the other side simply to get away from this negative experience. Yeah, so we're missing it here. So we're not being specific. We're not calling in specific women. We don't know if our market is responding to our the negative that we're talking about, or if it's relevant to them. So lower probability women actually click see more and actually read the full body copy. So we're gonna have less women becoming pre-qualified, fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, which means more, basically more ghosting, more price hunters, more tire kickers, more price objections. So fewer sales, lower revenue, fewer conversions, lower ROAS, all feeding back into the meta ad algorithm. Our ads go to worse quality meta profiles off RIP for tranche 2, which results in same ad spend as tranche 1, but lower results than tranche 1, feeding back into the meta ad algorithm for tranche 3. If we've entered the downward spiral of despair, it's just going to be same ad spend, worse and worse results over time till the ad burns out or we stop it, stop spending money on it, all that stuff. All right, now the next thing we want, the third thing we want in the See More headline is a positive. So women want to get away from this negative thing on, the left riverbank And they also want to get this other different orthogonal thing on the right side of, the right riverbank, crossing the river. So we're kind of getting these two things, one that they want to get away from and this other different thing that they want. So do we have a positive here? See yourself in a whole new light. There's a better way to write this, but yeah, we'll give you this. Are women in our city saying to themselves, I want to see myself in a whole new light? Are women saying that? They're probably more, well, it could be. Could also be saying it more, something more specific. See myself as beautiful again, kind of more specific. But yeah, we'll, we'll, we'll give this one, a positive. Give this one a thumbs up. So yeah, see yourself in a whole new light. I could see some women saying that. So good, we got positive, which means these ladies, when they scroll back up, they also might see yourself in a whole new light. That may also be relevant to them, depending on what the data says from our testing. And that's good. More specific women, or more specific woman being called in, feels like we're speaking more specifically to her. And when we're speaking more specifically to her, higher chance she reads the full ad copy and becomes pre-qualified. Well, the right woman. So we're getting more qualified leads, more qualified appointments, fewer price hunters, fewer tire kickers, less ghosting. And we're getting more sales, more revenue work, more conversions, higher ROAS. All feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, and our ads actually go to higher quality meta profiles for tranche 2. So we unlock higher quality profiles in tranche 2, giving us same ad spend, better results, which is, the upward spiral of awesomeness we talk about, all based off our ad data from tranche 1 women. And our ad sustains and scales over time, same ad spend, better results, scaling the business. All right, the fourth and final thing we want to have in the See More headline is a hesitation/roadblock. So when we want to get away from this negative thing on one side of the riverbank, they want to cross the river and get this other different positive thing also on the other side of the riverbank. And they got some different ways to do it. They got multiple different bridges, multiple different boats, maybe a helicopter. So what hesitation or roadblock, what is stopping the women from taking one of these? Maybe they don't like walking, or maybe they don't like engines. So what are women in our city saying in their brain that women are not going with some other solution or some other boudoir photographer? Could be something they don't want to do that other boudoir photographers are saying they have to do, or they're incorrectly assuming they have to qualify somehow or know something, or they're going to have to do something even if they don't say it. So their incorrect assumptions can be a hesitation/roadblock as well. And yes, we test all this stuff. The data tells us what the market actually is thinking for each of these. So we're missing that. So we're not calling in as specific of a woman. So the women that do see us, not feeling like we're as specific for them. So fewer women read the full ad copy, fewer women become pre-qualified, which results in fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, and basically more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, more no-shows, which is less sales, less revenue, fewer conversions, lower ROAS, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, resulting, from our tranche 1 data, that results in our ads going to lower quality meta profiles in tranche 2, who off rep are going to convert at a lower rate, so it's going to be same ad spend, worse results for tranche 2. We've entered the downward spiral of despair, ad burning out, ad dying out, refresh creative. Business, declines. All right, so those are the first 5 mistakes that can happen in Boudoir Facebook ad. Next 3 mistakes, we look at the body copy. So that's here down. And basically what we did with this ad is their brain was in fast mode, fast scrolling. We got them to go slower, read the first sentence or two, and then they click the ... see more and they get walloped with a wall of text. And we really super slow their brain but they're still in TikTok scroll mode, TikTok brain. And so it's actually really overwhelming for them to see a ton of text, which makes them want to just scroll away to not read all of it. So we used hook one, the see more headline, to get them to click the ... see more. And now, since we whacked them in the face with a wall of text, we actually got to give them a hook two, a second hook. And we always use an authority hook. So basically, why you should listen to me hook, which I did at the beginning of this video showing my results, 2 to 4xing the men and women reading the ad copy, becoming pre-qualified from fixing these mistakes and all that occurring with the same ad spend. That was the why you should listen to me hook. So we got to have one here in our body copy. So let's see. Say we got okay. We're missing authority. We're missing why women should listen to us. So we're going to have fewer women reading the full body copy. We're all on Facebook to be entertained. We don't want to be, sold to reading a novel here. We're kind of just chilling. Our brain's in fast mode, not really taking in much of anything when we're scrolling. So we're going to have less women reading the full ad copy, fewer qualified leads. Fewer women become pre-qualified, fewer qualified leads, which means more ghosting, more price hunting, more price objections, more ghosting, lower sales, lower bookings, lower revenue, fewer conversions, lower ROAS. From tranche one, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, and our ads actually go to worse quality meta profiles for tranche two, which results in we spend the same ad spend, but we get worse results. We've entered the downward spiral of despair. The drill, worse and worse and worse and worse in results over time. Ads dying out, ads burning out, refresh creative. All right, the next thing we need to have in our body copy is a story/narrative. Now, story/narrative is considered our punch two of our 1-2 punch, and our punch one is actually up here, the see more headline. And up here in the see more headline, punch one, we're meeting the women, the conversation they're actually having right now in their brain. And when people read that, we hit the 4 specific attributes. Like, oh my God, I gotta click see more. They're really talking about me more so than anyone else ever in an ad that I've ever seen. So I really gotta click ... see more to see, what the heck, what the heck these guys are talking about. Because obviously they're talking something that would help me, that would be useful to me, since they're saying the exact conversation I'm having in my head. So that's punch one. Now, punch two is a story/narrative somewhere down here that we got to have, because this is basically our movie scene. It's like we're writing the lines of a movie script. It's like we have a third-person camera following them around, describing what's going on in their life, describing what they're thinking, describing what they're feeling. This is our opportunity to empathize. Empathize with them. We see you. We know what's going on. Like I did, maybe at the beginning, talking about boudoir photographers running their ads on their own, getting desperate when ads keep burning out, or agency frustrated at the agency, ad keeps burning out, same ad spend, worse results over time. So it's our chance to empathize, kind of describe what's going on, show we understand them, show we know exactly what the heck's going on. Now, when we do this right, this 1-2 punch, we got to get this right. First reason is because we're more specific, which the way the meta ad algorithm works, when a woman clicks on our one Boudoir Facebook ad, they're getting hit with 20 Boudoir Facebook ads on Facebook and Instagram in the next 24 hours. Literally all of our competitors being shown to them. Now all those competitors are going to have broad messaging. Probably half will be copying from each other, so they'll be like all the same messages. So 5%, we got to get this 1-2 punch right, is will actually stand out once they see all those other boudoir photographer competitor ads. But the second reason, 95% of the reason we got to get this right is once we get the 1-2 punch correct, we become a market of one for this specific type of woman that, with this who, this negative, this positive, this hesitation/roadblock, and this story/narrative, a market of one for that woman, which means they're willing to pay more. they're willing to convert faster. Imagine, in the dentist story that I told, if all the other dentists in our city only did 6-month checkups and teeth cleanings, they don't fix, they don't fix tooth pain. Imagine there's only one dentist that he does tooth pain, he fixes tooth pain. Well, we were gonna, even if it was full, we would have paid like, dude, I'll pay double to get in. Just get me in tomorrow. Kick someone off, because that would have been the market of one for us, for our tooth pain. So we gotta get this 1-2 punch correctly. Let's see, do we have a blah, 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 blah? No. So we're missing the story/narrative. We're missing the opportunity to empathize. Show that we understand what they're going through. Show that we understand them and their specific situation, their unique situation. That's how we become that's actually, basically how all other competitors become invisible, and we're seen as the only option in the market of one. So no story/narrative. So women reading through, lower probability they even finish the ad copy. Even if they do, they're feeling like or less for, not as specifically for them in their situation. So again, fewer qualified leads coming through, fewer qualified appointments, which means more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, more time wasters, more tire kickers, and lower sales, lower revenue, fewer conversions, lower ROAS from tranche 1 women that our ad went to. All feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, and our ads go to worse and worse meta profiles over time. We've entered the downward spiral of despair, which is just same ads and worse and worse and worse results over time. Ads burning out, ads dying out, refresh creative. All right, the third and final thing we always need to have in our ad copy is our full offer. Everything I said previous to this is context. Mistakes 2 through 7 is to provide the correct context. And mistake 8 here, well, it's a mistake if it's not done, is we need to have the full offer here, because the purpose of our ad is to provide the right context so we show our ad to the right person and expose as many of the right people to the ad as possible. That is the purpose of us running ads. Because if it's not the right context, like, people aren't going to feel like it's for them, they're just going to scroll by. So I see this one's pretty long, so let's see if we got our offer here. Luxury boudoir experience, multiple second place winners, which you could win: full hair, makeup, photo shoot, wardrobe, same day image reveal. Oh, that actually sounds pretty good. The same day image reveal. Exclusive experience includes, boom, 90-minute, good, 3 to 4, boom. Viewing an order, boom, boom. Confidence boost. Hey, confidence boost, that's a positive. Confidence boosting, that's a positive to be in the Seymour headline. You're worth it. Spots are limited. Great. The only thing is, we're missing price, but super awesome. I like long everything, long copy Facebook ads. So I like all the detail here, because long copy is more, gives us more specific, more qualified person. So awesome. So we're having more qualified women read this. Probably 98% are going to just scroll on by, but the 2%, which is exactly what we want. Talk about that more in mistake 9, the next mistake. But we're going to have the 2%. They'll click through, our CTR link, unique CTR link, and they know exactly what they're getting. Although they don't know the price, but you did say giveaway, I believe. Win, yeah. All right, so it's giveaway, so maybe price doesn't matter here. So awesome, more qualified leads, more qualified appointments, fewer price objections, fewer price hunters, fewer tire kickers, fewer time wasters, less ghosting, more sales, more revenue, more conversions, higher ROAS from these tranche 1 women. All goes back into the meta ad algorithm to decide who to send our ads to for tranche 2. And we unlock higher tier, higher quality meta profiles with kind of just a global master level, higher default level conversion rate, which results in same ad spend, better results over time, feeds back into itself, back into itself, back into itself. We've entered the upward spiral of awesomeness, aka the jet stream. Ad sustains and scales over time. Scale the business. All right, the final two mistakes. Mistake 9 and 10 happen here at the bottom of the ad. Mistake number 9 is having text, below creative headline or description or a button. Having any of these things at the bottom of the ad is always a mistake. Here's why. There's 3 reasons. Reason number 1 is 5% of the reason for mistake number 9. Makes it look more like an ad. Ties into mistake number 1, makes it look more like an ad. There's no organic post. Nobody's posting their puppy and having a below creative headline or a description below that, some blurb, or having a button below it. These are ad attributes. So looks like an ad, more when scroll by, lower ad results. Reason number 2 for mistake number 9, 15%, is some newsfeed psychology here. When women are scrolling, seeing this see more headline, the first 2 3/4 lines on Facebook and mobile newsfeed, which is where most of our ad impressions will be taking place. By the time they get here, and they're looking, they're down here, they're looking at these words, their subconscious has registered and surfaced, maybe a quarter to a third of the words or word phrases we got here. So beauty, confidence, chance to win. And so that surfaces right as they're looking at this. And win, okay, 1 out of 7 words are the same. So when the words are not the same, it automatically triggers the error detection network in their brain, which signals error, incongruent, confusion, keep scrolling. This all happens automatically. Nobody's consciously thinking this. So we're getting way more women scrolling by. Now, even if the words were perfectly the same, it still ties into mistake 1, makes it look like an ad. So it's always a mistake to ever have any words down here below the creative. Final reason. Reason number 3 for mistake number 9. 80% of the reason for mistake number 9 is when we have stuff here at the bottom of the ad below the creative, text or button, it enables women to click on our ad and go to the next page before being forced to click ... see more up here and read the rest of our ad copy before clicking, aka before becoming fully pre-qualified. So we're having tons of unqualified women click over. Here's why this is an issue. This is, what I talked about, the mistake prior, mistake number 8, or we want the wrong people to scroll on by. Here's the actual reason. When the meta ad algorithm is pulling data for who to go to next out of the pools of data possible, one of the pools of data is looking at converters, so those who have converted on the ad, kind of shaking off all their metadata data points on their profile, on their meta profile, which there's over 1 million, and looking at all the similar data points between all the profiles that have converted. And that's good. And then it goes to decide, hey, I'm going to look at these, send the ad to these other meta profiles that have 86% of these similar data points as well, or 92%, or 96%, or 78%. So it's good for pool 1, the conversion pool, the converters pool. The problem is with pool 2, it does the same thing with ad clickers. Now, the problem with this is ad clickers are literally 10 to 50x. There's more ad clickers than ad converters, so this pool is 10 to 50x larger. And if we have these words, these buttons at the bottom of our ad below our creative, then what happens is we're, most of our ad clickers, they're unqualified. They didn't read anything. They're looking at this. Who knows? Maybe they think it's a lingerie store or something. They click on the button. They didn't read nothing. They're just scrolling, clicking on whatever. They go, they say, oh, this is not what I expected. Well, yeah, because they didn't read anything. So it's always going to be different than what they expected, basically 99% of the time. And they leave. But their data is captured in pool 2, the ad clickers, the data points from the ad clicker profiles. So when women are clicking through without becoming pre-qualified, we're getting all these unqualified women basically poisoning our well, poisoning our pool too, and biasing the meta ad algorithm to go towards what? More unqualified meta profiles with the same unqualified data attributes on their meta profiles. And so that's why it's always a mistake to have stuff. It's allowing anyone to click over on a Facebook ad to the next page without first becoming pre-qualified and being forced to read all this text. And the ideal is actually pool one's converters, pool two is clickers. The ideal is actually one link click, one conversion every time, because that means pool one converters pool is exactly equal to pool two ad clickers pool. And so it's 100% qualified data points. That's actually the goal, as close to that as possible. Now mistake number 10. Mistake number 10 is using the incorrect objective. Now, I don't know what objective this ad is using. I've got no idea, but I do know that leads is always, always, always the incorrect objective. Here's why. When we choose our objective, we're targeting a city, we choose our objective. Meta actually takes a 6% slice of that city pie, total women profiles that we're targeting, takes a 6% slice. And that 6% slice is like the 95th percentile plus probability because of data point attributes on the profile history, 95% plus percentile probability to fill out a lead form and, respond to an ad that has these keywords in it based on what they're searching on Facebook, Instagram, Google, what their other ads they've interacted with, and also just from kind of our microphones on our Facebook, Instagram app, recording all our conversations, whether we're on the app or not, or on a phone call or not, just having our phone around, and sticking all those keywords to our meta profiles. So, people talking about Boudoir, they'll see more Boudoir ads, things like that. And so our ads are going to lead form filler outers, people that have a high probability to fill out a lead form. The problem is we're not optimizing to get our ads in front of lead form filler outers who also answer our calls, texts, and emails. And we're not optimizing to get our ads in front of lead form filler outers who also book a call, show up to a call. And we're not optimizing our ads to get in front of lead form filler outers who also buy. And yes, there's going to be a small dusting that lead form filler outers and small dusting that does answer our calls, texts, and emails, and an even smaller dusting that, yes, books a call and shows up to a call, and even tinier dusting yet that actually buys. But we want buyers. So the goal is let's get our ads actually in front of buyers where that's the dominant behavior on the profile. Because if we're targeting lead form filler outers, obviously we're targeting those that have the dominant behavior on the profile of lead form filler outers, but not doing anything after, because that's not what we're optimizing for. Which means, since their dominant profile is not buying stuff, these lead form filler outers are dominantly non-buyers. We're literally telling Meta, yes, please optimize, send my ads to more non-buyers. And this is why the lead costs are so cheap, because Meta knows they ain't buying anyway. Their lead costs are so cheap because there's very few businesses looking to reach lead form filler outers. Businesses want buyers. And so we tell Meta to go to lead form filler outers, or literally tell them to go to non-buyers, where yes, there'll be a small dusting that are buyers, yes. I mean, look, if we just look at our data of who's women that filled out our lead forms, do most of them buy or not buy? Okay, most of them don't buy. So, and yes, the lead costs are cheap, but that's a vanity metric. Example, if we get 100 leads at $1 each, we convert one to paying us, okay, $100 CAC, $100 CPA, cost per acquisition. Customer acquisition cost $100. But if we do a buyer-focused objective, we get 10, or let's say 4 leads, $10 a lead, and we convert one. That's a $40 CAC, $40 CPA, cost per acquisition. So we literally just 2.5x'd the efficiency of our ads, the profit of our advertising channel, because we lowered our, basically got 2.5x more efficiency for our ad dollars by lowering our CAC or our CPA, customer acquisition cost, aka cost per acquisition, from $100 to $40. And yeah, we can see our email list going up, but again, the dominant behavior on lead form filler outers profiles is non-buyer behavior. So we're filling our email list up with non-buyers, which again is why the leads are such a low cost. So those are the 10 mistakes. So we're going to score this ad, see how we did compared to the general boudoir industry as a whole. And then going from there, go look at more stuff. So does it look like an ad? Nope. Who? Okay, we got a who. Do we have a negative? No. Do we have a positive? Yes. Do we have a hesitation / roadblock? No. Next, we go to the body copy. Do we have an authority hook? No. Do we have a story / narrative? No. We have a full offer. Good. Below creative headline and button. Always a mistake to have those. And objective, I'll give half a mistake. We actually don't know what objective we're using. So overall score, 5.5 out of 10 mistakes. Awesome. Boudoir industry average is 7.5 out of 10 mistakes. And 5.5 is the highest score I've ever scored, tied with, I think, 2 or 3 other boudoir photographers from last week. So, all right, y'all. So, yeah, we're all getting better. Now, because I know these mistakes cause ads to perform worse and worse over time, same ad spend, worse results over time, ad burns out, ad dies out, I consider all boudoir Facebook ads that have more than 2 out of 10 mistakes to be breaking down boudoir Facebook ads. They're performing worse and worse over time. They're breaking down. And basically, if we got a car that's performing worse and worse over time, we say the car is breaking down. Now, where do we bring a breaking down car? We bring it to a car mechanic. Similarly, where do we bring a breaking down boudoir Facebook ad? Yes, that's right. We bring it to a boudoir Facebook ad mechanic. So if your ads, boudoir Facebook ads have these mistakes I talked about today, and you want to improve them, get higher ROAS from your same ad spend, like I showed at the beginning, I'm able to 2 to 4x the amount of women coming through, consuming the ad copy with the same ad spend, literally just by fixing a few of these. Then I got 2 ways to solve it if you do want to solve these things. First way is a pay per root cause problem solved. And it's pretty easy. I can do this in 30 seconds, explain this, where I take the 10 mistakes I talked about, squish them down into 5 root cause problems, and I charge for root cause problem solved. And we'll give a 20-second diagnosis here. Does it look like an ad? No. So don't need that. See more headline, we need 4 out of 4 specific attributes in the see more headline up here. We got 2 out of 4, so root cause problem number 1. Body copy, we need 3 out of 3 sections. We got 1 out of 3 sections. Root cause problem number 2. Below creative headline and button, root cause problem number 3. We always want to get rid of these. And objective, well, we don't know if this is actually incorrect or root cause problem right now. So we'll get half a root cause problem. So overall, we got 3.5 out of 5 root cause problems, and I charge $50 per root cause problem I fix for one ad. And yes, you can take the fixes I put on one ad and port them over to all your other ads and any ads you create in the future. And you can choose from 1 to the maximum number of root cause problems fixed. And so if you did the maximum, it would be 3.5 times 50, so $175. Now option 2 is much higher value. I'll fix as many mistakes as you want in all your Boudoir Facebook ads and create as many new Boudoir Facebook ads that are free of all these mistakes that we talked about today. Do all that, $100 a month, flat fee, cancel anytime, month to month. You collab with me as much or as little as you want. So much higher value. And yeah, we can get these either be they're guaranteed most specific, most relevant ads in the entire city, unless someone else, is kind of working with me before you decide to work with me. But even then, now we got to compete with someone else who's working with me in the same city. So we actually kind of got to compete more now to have much better ads. So once you decide which one you want, you got my phone number, you got my email, you got or whatever social platform you're watching this on. You can also DM me. And once you hit me up, I'll ask you what you got for me, and we'll go from there. All right, that's everything. Adios.